Hey YouTube, this is Firewizard23 here to give you another book review. This is the fourth book in the Alex Rider series, Eagle Strike. Spoilers. So Alex has gone on vacation to France with his girlfriend, Sabina Pleasure, and her mother and father. During the time he gets there, he's like, I want to be away from all the spy stuff. It was either this book or the previous book, he actually just blatantly told Sabina, because even she's kind of like, something's weird here, you've been gone for like half a semester this last semester, and you were gone for these weeks, what the hell's going on? And he actually just very casually said, I'm a secret agent working for Britain, I've done da-da-da-da-da. She's like, oh, haha, very funny. She just didn't believe him. But Alex sees Yasen Gogorovich in the city he's staying in. He's like, what? And I think he followed him or something. I can't remember, but Yasan never knew he was there. And, oh no, he did get captured. Yes, he did. But Yasan actually gave him a chance to get away by having participated in a bullfight, which he was actually able to successfully get out of. They said, if you succeed, fine, you can go, whatever. Because he's like, I'm not here for you. He goes back and hang out with Sabina and stuff, and there's an explosion they're off hanging somewhere, and there's an explosion at the hotel where they're staying, and Sabina's father is gravely injured. And all Alice can find is this little magazine, this little article that the father was writing about somebody named Damien Cray. In the universe of Alex Rider, Damien Cray is this massive philanthropist. He had some really personal tragedies very early on in his youth, but he ended up becoming a millionaire and a billionaire, and he uses his money to try to help the world, and he fights against kids with drugs and stuff, and all that stuff. Alex gets, I cannot remember, I hate the fact that I'm not able to do these as they're happening. Time has gone on and just life's happened, and so I'm not able to do these completely tangent. Alex somehow gets reconnected. Oh no, I think he just goes back when he goes back to England. He just goes back to MI6, and he's like, no, he tries to convince Sabina that it's real, and she doesn't believe him. He actually takes her to the bank, and the bank that's actually the secret headquarters, but it's a cover, and they completely act as if Alex is just crazy, like this is a bank. And then Sabina leaves all pissed off, thinking that he fucked with her. And suddenly there's Miss Jones like, we need to talk. She pulls him into the office with Mr. Alan Blunt. And he's like, you can't do that, Alex. And he's like, man. And then he gives all his explanation about Damien Cray and Yasen Gogorovich and all that stuff. He's like, hey, what the fuck? We have to go. Damien Cray has something to do with all this. We know, and he knows that because he called a number that Yasen had in his phone, and Damien Cray picked up and said, Damien Cray. Yellow. So that's why he's so convinced that Damien has something to do with this. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. Damien Cray is like this massive philanthropist. He does all this great stuff. How could this be? He's releasing a computerized system called a Game Slayer, called the Game Slayer, and there's this interactive video game, and he's going to use the profits to help towards charity. So this kid doesn't make any sense. Why would Damien do this? He's been like a really good guy for like 20-some years. He's not all of a sudden just going to turn evil. Alex is like, fine, I'll do it myself. And because they're like, we're not going to help him. We don't think that you're right about this. But he leaves. As it turns out, though, Smithers, the tech guy, actually does believe Alex, and I'm probably going to get roasted for this, but I've been working on this bike for you for quite a while. And he sends Alex this bike that has all these special gadgets and stuff, and it's cool. And do take care of yourself, old chap. And so he goes off to... Did he go to America? No, because the guy's in... The guy, does he live in England? I can't remember, but he goes to the guy's house. He finds the compound where they're making the Game Slayers. He's like, something's not right here. Alex also went to a rally. He takes Jack with him, Jack Starbright, the guy who works at his house, and he goes to this big convention where Damien Cray is releasing the Game Slayer, and he actually he actually sneaks in, and Damien Cray actually invites a teenager up on stage, happens to be Alex, and Alex kind of foolishly gives his real name, unfortunately, but he hasn't played the Game Slayer, and it's really realistic, and he kind of shows up the game in front of Damien. It's like, what the hell? Also, there's a woman in the crowd who criticized if this video game is encouraging violence, and pretty much pushed that point And that evening, that person turned up dead. Huh. Little head scratching there. But nothing that points directly to Damien. Nothing to point him directly. Alex finds the compound where the game slurs are being made. He breaks inside. He's actually captured by Damien. And Damien's like, and because Alex actually witnesses Damien kill somebody with I think it was like $2 or $4 million in nickels, like drowns him inside this glass tube. And he's like, what? And he keeps talking about something called Eagle Strike, and Alex can't figure out what Eagle Strike is. But he captures him, and the guy basically, we find out what's wrong with Damien Cray. Damien Cray has really good intentions. He just does not he has no moral compass. He has absolutely no moral compass about his actions. He's like, I found out this terrible scientist was doing these horrible experiments on animals. I had him assassinated. This person was talking bad about me. I had him killed. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And we find out that Eagle Strike, what he wants to do is it's his ultimate war on drugs. What he wants to do is he succeeds. He hijacks Air Force One. I won't go into the whole particulars about this. He hijacks Air Force One. He gets the access to the launch codes that the President of the United States can use, because he actually shakes hands with the President and uses like the special palmer to get his fingerprint. And he's going to use that to fire off nuclear missiles at where all the major drug cartels and manufacturing areas are, places where they're grown, in like Iraq, Afghanistan, that sort of stuff, and blow them to smithereens. The kids can't get on drugs because there won't be any. This unfortunately will cause massive nuclear fallout, which he's aware of, but his thought is the ends justify the means. One thing leads to another, and Alex stops him. Is this whole big battle on the plane, and this happens, and that happens, and secret spy stuff, and all that. I forget how this ended. I got the book right here, though. Yeah, he's totally got him. Like, he steals a flash drive that has the codes, and they kidnap Sabina to get him onto the plane. You'll give me the codes, because I'll kill her. That's the whole classic thing. And then she's like, holy shit, this is real. And the reason he wanted to kill Sabina's father, it actually was true. There wasn't anyone else he was targeting. It was Sabina's father because he talked bad about him. That's why he did it. Yeah, and he's talking here, like, he has this, like, peaceful little conversation with Sabina and Alex. He's just saying, I had all this money, and I wanted to do something good with it. And now he's Sir Damien Cray, and he's been knighted by the Queen. He's met the President, and he's like, I want to do this because it's right. And he actually orders Yasin Gogorovich to kill Alex, and Yasin's like, I don't kill children. And so Damien shoots Alex. Shoots Yasin Gogorovich. Ah! It's like all scary. And they beat him up. Big fight, and they win the day. And then Yasin tells him as he's dying, he's like, just so you know, your father was one of us. MI6 tried to kill both of us, but they killed your father. And I only know this because I've read the next book. That gets a little wonky, because Alex is like, that can't be true, da da da. Funny story, I actually got that confused. Alex was raised by his uncle. I got that confused and thought he was saying his uncle actually was working for the bad guys. A group that is called Scorpia. And no, it's his father he's talking about, not his uncle. Saying, your father worked for us. He was one of us, and MI6 killed him. They're just using you, aren't they? But he's looking into his eyes, and he's like he's not seeing any kind of deceit in Yasin's eyes, so he's believing that everything you're saying is absolutely true. Here it is. No, the ghost of a smile flickered across Yasin's face, but it was filled with sadness. MI6 hunted him down. They killed him. They tried to kill us both. At the last minute I escaped, but they killed your father, Alex. No, why would I lie to you? Your father, he did this, and showed the scar across his neck. He said, find Scorpion, you will find your destiny. And at the end of it, he meets up with meets up with Mrs. Jones, and she's like, you fucking saved the day. Like, no one believed that Damien was really evil, but you believed it. You saved the day. The Queen wants to meet you. The President wants to meet you. He's like, he's mad, and then she learns through the conversation. Miss Jones learns through the conversation that he spoke with Yasin, and she's like, did he say anything to you at the end? No, he told her, and he's like, so you knew. You knew that my father was a bad guy, and you never told me, and you've just been using me, like, you've been using me to balance the scales. And at the end of the book, Alex decides, Sabina was sworn to secrecy and stuff, she's like, oh my god, you're telling the truth, and Alex is like, I have to break up with you because I want you to be safe. That cool thing that guys would do. So that is Eagle Strike. I did enjoy it. It leaves a great cliffhanger, like, oh, how the hell do you deal with that, like, if that's true? But I'm like, there's gotta be more to this. I mean, that doesn't... And I do like that the series is starting to get a little bit complex about this. That we're dealing with a much more complex set of issues than, just, it's the good guy going off to fight the bad guys. That we're going to kind of get into kind of some psychiatry here. I will give some credit that I think it is very simple, and I think it's designed to be simple, and I'm hoping it keeps getting a little bit more deep about things. So, this is Firewizard23. Take care and bye-bye for now, everybody.